The trillionaire life of Vladimir Putin and his family. When you think of wealth, you imagine billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or royal families from the Middle East. But there's one man whose fortune eclipses them all, yet officially, he earns less than a mid-level government worker. That man is Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, a leader whose true net worth remains one of the world's greatest mysteries. Though publicly modest, Putin is rumored to control a trillion-dollar empire, built through secret holdings, offshore networks, and a circle of loyal oligarchs who protect his fortune. From palaces and jets to priceless art and super yachts, his hidden lifestyle defines ultimate power. We're uncovering the secret trillionaire world of Vladimir Putin and his family, exploring how he rose from humble beginnings to become one of the wealthiest and most influential figures in modern history. From spy to supreme power, Putin's story begins far from the world of luxury. Born in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, in 1952, he grew up in poverty, sharing a small communal apartment with his parents. But even then, he was fascinated by power, discipline, and control, traits that shaped his rise. After studying law, he joined the KGB, the Soviet intelligence agency. There, he learned that real power doesn't come from titles, but from secrecy, information, and leverage. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Putin entered politics, rising through the ranks of the new Russian government. By 1999, he was appointed prime minister and soon after, president of Russia. Once in power, he consolidated control over the nation's vast industries, placing loyal allies at the top of oil, gas, and banking empires. This network became known as Putin's power pyramid, a system where loyalty was rewarded with wealth, and wealth guaranteed loyalty. The hidden wealth empire, officially, Putin earns around $140,000 a year, with a modest apartment and 2 old cars listed as his only assets. But behind this humble image lies an empire so vast, experts estimate it could be worth between $200 billion and $1 trillion. Almost none of it is in his name. Instead, his fortune is controlled through a network of shell companies and trusted oligarchs, billionaires who owe their riches to his rule. Among them are Arkady Rotenberg, Gennady Timchenko, and Yuri Kovalchuk, all sanctioned globally for their deep Kremlin ties. Through these proxies, Putin indirectly controls entire industries, from energy giants like Gazprom and Rosneft to media, real estate, and finance. Every major transaction in Russia, it's said, feeds the system that sustains his hidden empire. To the world, it's invisible. To those inside Russia, it's untouchable. The Black Sea Palace, symbol of a trillionaire, one symbol of Putin's rumored wealth, stands above all. The Black Sea Palace, near Gelendzhik. Valued at over $1.3 billion, it's larger than Buckingham Palace and Versailles combined. Spread across 190,000 square feet, the mansion includes a private theater, wine cellars, indoor pools, gardens, and even a secret tunnel to the sea. Inside are Italian marble floors, gold-plated furniture, and hand-carved European decor. There's even a private church, a hookah lounge, and a hidden relaxation chamber, surrounded by vineyards, forests, and a no-fly zone. Though Putin denies ownership, leaks and contractor testimonies suggest it was built for him, financed through offshore networks tied to his allies. The palace isn't just a home, it's a symbol of absolute power, hidden behind the illusion of modesty. Jets, yachts, and hidden residences beyond the palace. Putin's lifestyle rivals that of royalty. He's believed to have access to over 40 private aircraft, including a $500 million Ilyushin jet with gold interiors and a marble bathroom. Then there's the Scheherazade, a $700 million super yacht docked in Italy, featuring 2 helipads, a pool that turns into a dance floor, and a luxury spa deck. Across Russia, he maintains more than 20 residences, from mountain retreats in Sochi to hidden compounds in Moscow and Lake Valdai, each guarded by elite forces and surrounded by no-fly zones. The Valdai estate, in particular, is a blend of luxury and secrecy, with gold-tiled pools, crystal chandeliers, and a personal church, all built deep within protected forests. Altogether, his known residences are estimated to be worth over $4 billion, yet none are officially in his name. The family in the shadows. While Putin's public image reflects power and control, his family life remains largely hidden. He was married to Lyudmila Shkrebneva for 3 decades before their divorce in 2013. They have 2 daughters, Maria and Katerina, who live almost entirely out of the spotlight. Maria is a medical researcher in Moscow, while Katerina is active in academia and business. Both reportedly own multi-million-dollar properties across Europe and use different surnames for security and privacy. The daughters live under strict protection, and their public profiles are carefully managed to avoid attention. Putin is also rumored to have other children from long-term relationships, though none are officially confirmed. Despite his secrecy, his family is said to enjoy royal-level privileges, private schooling, elite vacations, luxury homes, and constant security, all funded by the hidden wealth surrounding the Kremlin network. The power of image and fear for Putin. Wealth isn't just luxury, it's a weapon of control. His authority relies on projecting strength, stability, and dominance both inside and outside Russia. Domestically, his image is carefully curated. The fearless leader who rides horses shirtless, practices judo, and defends Russia from Western influence. Behind that persona lies a vast machine of media control, financial influence, and political loyalty, enforced through fear and reward. The oligarchs who guard his wealth owe everything to him, their companies, their fortunes, even their survival. In exchange for loyalty, they receive exclusive contracts, monopolies, and state protection. This arrangement has turned Russia's elite into extensions of Kremlin power, ensuring Putin remains untouchable, no matter the scandals or sanctions. The global web of assets global. Investigations like the Panama Papers and Paradise Papers have revealed how Putin's fortune weaves through a maze of offshore networks and hidden companies. Money trails lead to Cyprus, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and the British Virgin Islands, tax havens designed to hide ownership. His inner circle is tied to luxury apartments in Monaco, villas in Spain, rare art collections, and private jets, all traced back to Kremlin-linked shell corporations. Much of Putin's personal wealth is believed to be held through stakes in Russian giants like Gazprom, Rosneft, and Gunvor, shares not in his name, but controlled through political power. Combined, these hidden holdings could make him the richest man on earth, with assets possibly exceeding $1 trillion. Sanctions and the fortress of wealth. When global sanctions hit after the Ukraine invasion, Russian oligarchs saw their assets frozen and yachts seized. But Putin's wealth remained untouched. That's because his empire is built for invisibility. None of it bears his name. It's scattered across layers of proxies and offshore networks. Even when one asset is seized, another quietly changes ownership through loyal intermediaries. It's a fortress of wealth, protected by secrecy and fear. Sanctions revealed only fragments of this empire, showing how deeply its roots run across the global financial system. The price of power. Behind the unimaginable riches lies isolation. Every deal depends on loyalty, every luxury shielded by silence. Unlike other billionaires who flaunt their success, Putin's world exists behind closed doors, guarded compounds, secret vaults, and total control. His allies live in privilege, but only as long as their obedience lasts. Loyalty fades, everything can disappear. For the man who commands nations, trust remains his greatest risk. The trillionaire legacy, Putin's legacy reaches far beyond politics. His hidden fortune, built through influence and control, defines a new kind of power, one measured not in visibility, but in reach. While others chase headlines, Putin rules from the shadows, his wealth woven into markets, corporations and governments worldwide. The full extent may never be known, but its presence is undeniable. From his coastal palaces to secret estates and billion-dollar yachts, Vladimir Putin's trillionaire world stands as a symbol of how money and authority can merge into something far greater and far more dangerous. Behind the walls of secrecy, Vladimir Putin's empire tells a story of ambition, control, and the blurred lines between politics and personal fortune. Whether he's worth billions or trillions may never be proven, but his reach, influence, and luxury are beyond imagination. So, what do you think? Is Putin truly the richest man alive, or the most powerful illusionist in history? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden wealth of Vladimir Putin and his family, make sure to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more untold stories from the secret worlds of global power and luxury.